Hi, welcome to my next how-to video. Today I'm going to show you how to massage out your hamstrings using the lacrosse ball you were given in your employee wellness bag. My ball is pink. I'm not sure if they're all the same color, but grab your hard, firm lacrosse ball and we're going to get started on the hamstrings. I've done videos before showing you how to roll out your feet, showing you how to roll out back by your scapular muscles, your shoulder blades, and now we're going to do another tight spot, the hamstrings. So I am going to be seated on the bench. If you have access to a bench, feel free to use it. If you have your chair, your office chair, or a dining room chair, that will work just as well. Or you can even do it on the ground. I will tell you, the harder the surface that you have, this bench is a little cushy, the harder the surface that you have, the more pressure you're gonna end up putting on the muscle. So just be cautious of that. If you've never done this before, you might not need much pressure at all for it to really start feeling that muscle relief. So I'm going to flip around this way so you can see. Now I'm going to put my leg completely up on the bench and I'm going to find 3 different spots. I'm going to work lower hamstring right above my knee, the back of my knee. Then I'm going to go right in the middle of my thigh, and then I'm going to go up more right underneath my glute. So I'm going to take this right underneath my knee and I'm going to move my leg around in a good range of motion. Once I find maybe a tighter trigger spot, I'm gonna keep my weight planted right on that spot. I'm gonna lean my upper body forward, putting a little more pressure down, trying to release that tight spot. Now your body will intuitively try to tense up when you get those tight areas, but we really need to focus on releasing. So when you find that trigger point, really work on taking nice long deep breaths, letting your body release, letting that muscle release its tension. Okay, so now we're going to work our way up. Let's come middle of the thigh. Again, I'm going to do those wide swinging motions first to try to identify the tight spot. Once I have it, lean that body forward, put some more pressure on it, take those deep breaths, let your body release, let your body relax. These hamstrings can get awfully tight, and we often don't realize it until we start putting this pinpoint pressure on it. Last spot, let's come up higher towards the glute. Again, wide swinging motions with the leg until you find where it feels to be most tender. Get that spot, lean forward. Now again, I'm taking you through this in a pretty quick fashion. Feel free when you're doing it on your own to spend more or less time. Find the areas that tend to be the most tight for you and spend a little more time on it. You'll start identifying those specific trigger points that you have on your own body. Release there. I'm going to flip around this way facing you. I'm just going to show you a different way to do it. Either way is fine. Again, giving you options so you can play around with it and do what works best for you. So I'm going to switch to my other leg, but now this time I'm going to be facing you. I'm going to have my leg hanging off the bench. But again, I'm going to hit all 3 spots. So I'm going to start right at my lower hamstring, right behind the back of my knee, finding that pressure. And now what I can do is I can extend that knee, which puts a little bit different feel, a little bit different pressure on it. If you're on a hard, flat chair, this might be enough pressure. You might not even need to extend that knee and straighten out that leg, because that might be too much pressure, especially if you've never done this before. So if it's enough pressure here, just hang out here. You can kind of roll your legs side to side, rolling that ball across the back of your leg. And of course, breathing, trying to relax as much as possible. So now I'm going to move it up. Middle of the thigh, putting that pressure on. This might be enough. If you're able to, you can extend that knee and you'll really feel it digging into the muscle, those tendons back there, probably in a new way. It's a lot, can be quite intense. If those hamstrings are tight and you've never done a motion like this before, and I'm gonna move up, last one right below my glute, hanging out on it. What I can do from this position too, I can actually rotate my knee in and get a little more inner thigh work. So So it might not be just directly on the back of your thigh. You can move more internally and get some of those adductors. You can also roll out a little bit and get more towards the quad. So again, you have lots of options. I'm giving you the basic framework of it, but feel free to just experiment, find what works best on your body, find those tight spots. We all have them. The lacrosse ball is just so good because it pinpoints areas more specifically than just doing the foam roller where you're kind of getting a wide range, a wide rollover. This one gets more in, pinpoints it a little more specifically. So I'm going to release. Again, you have either option, legs straight out in front of you or hanging off here, really smashing into those hamstrings. That's why I've titled it Hamstring Smash. So whichever way works for you, I hope that you learned something from this. I would encourage you to try it if you've never done before. I also really advise runners to do this. If you are used to running often, if you have long runs like a marathon type runner, I especially recommend doing this hamstring smash after those running days to really start releasing the tension you've built back in those muscles. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.